Hey guys, Phil here with Dorkhammer. Been a long time since I've done a video, so let's go ahead and get into it. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Warhammer Armies Project Beastmen's Battle Book. Is that the way to say that? Army book, I guess it would be. Anyhow, I've heard that this army is not that good. I've heard it for a long time, but I don't know too much about Beastmen other than I'm playing an 8th edition campaign with my buddies. I am the Skaven and the Vampires, and my other buddy is Beastmen and the Orcs and Goblins, and then the other one is Lizardmen and Empire. I played the Beastmen 8th edition, and I will say that even though my buddy accidentally cheated, he didn't really mean to. I still beat him. It was still pretty still beat him pretty handily, even though he was actually accidentally thinking that his regular core gores had strength 4. Just a big oversight, but I still won. I was like, dang, these beastmen aren't as bad as I thought, but turns out they were strength 3. So, anyways, with that being said, let's get into it. Let's take a look at the Army special rules, and I'll tell you what I think first time seeing this. All right, y'all. So here are the Army special rules. To be honest, I am not sure what edition their last book was at, because honestly, guys, I'm gonna confess something here. I I think I've been saying that I came in at 7th edition with my into Warhammer Fantasy with my Dark Elves, but I think I came in on 6 when 6 was transitioning to 7th, and then I bought my 7th edition army. So I guess I was right, but I was kind of in between those two, and I never. Man, there's some crazy thunder going on outside. It's just insane. Right now, I just jumped because there was one that sounded really close. Anyhow, with that being said, yeah, I got confused with 7th and 8th edition, and I honestly literally just ordered the 8th edition Dark Elves because I got away from Warhammer Fantasy when 8th edition came up. And yeah, so I'm not really sure where we're at with Beastmen. It might be 6th, maybe 7th. Y'all can let me know in the comments below. Anyways, with that being said, their main army special rule is the Primal Fury. You may hear loud ass thunder in the background here in a second. I just heard one that nearly made me jump out of my skin. At the beginning of each close round of combat, each round of close combat, each engaged unit with Primal Fury must take a leadership test. If it's passed, the unit gains the Hatred special rule until the end of the close combat phase. I think this is the same as it's been before. In addition, if they pass the leadership test and roll a double, they also gain Frenzy. So Hatred and Frenzy if they rolled a double 1 for their leadership test. So pretty sweet roll. I believe that's the same as it's been, because when I played my buddy, I believe he had that. If only he didn't cheat. I'm busting his balls about that for a while. Anyways, Beastmen Ambush models with this rule have the Ambusher special rule. And if I remember, the Ambusher special rule is that they come in on turn 2 where they get to roll, except they have a special thing here. So this is lost if they have any kind of mount. Wait, models with this. So if they have a mount, they can't have this rule. In other words, in addition to add +1 to any rolls to determine whether or not they enter the table when using the Ambusher special. Not that your army general must deploy normally. Let's go look at the Ambushers rule real quick, because I am not entirely sure how it works. I want to say you come in on a 3+ or something, so I guess they come in on a 2+. That's my guess. Okay, before starting deployment, a unit with Ambusher can choose not to deploy, blah, blah, coming on to turn 2. On a 1 or a 2, the Ambushers have been, say, at 3+. On a 3 or more, the Ambushers arrive and will enter the board during the remaining sub. So, and if they don't show up the whole game, they're assumed to be dead, lost, gone forever, did not pass go, did not collect $200. But it looks like they can come in on a 2+. Okay, so pretty sweet roll. It means they will more than likely come in on turn 2, which is pretty sweet. Won't be able to charge like Storm Fiends. By the way, guys, I love Storm Fiends. I think they're so cool, and you got to get the ones that ambush and can charge right away. And just something to think about. Anyways, I don't know why I'm on this one. Let's go back here. Next, we have Unruly. So basically, Unruly, all models with this special rule follow the Berserk Rage rules for Frenzy. In addition, they are forced to charge of the Berserk Rage test. They may re-roll failed charges. Okay, so if I remember, well, basically this is just Frenzy when they have to charge, or they have to charge the closest thing when they have Frenzy, or test to not charge, I guess. So they can re-roll that charge if they fail it. So if they have to charge, at least they get to re-roll it. Kind of sweet. Beast Lords, okay, we got movement 5s, which is pretty good. I didn't know they were movement 5. Weapon skill 6, strength 5, toughness 5, solid. Initiative 5, 4 attacks, 9 leadership, The War Gore is strength 4, toughness 5, 2 wounds. So, pretty cool stuff. High toughness. They got special rules. They got the Beastmen Ambush. So um, I don't understand why the Lord. I guess if he's your general, so I guess you could actually have a Beast Lord and have him be ambushed as long as it's not your general. So there's that. Forest Strider means that I guess they don't take dangerous terrain in the forest. If I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken. So let's take a look at that and just double check because I'm a little rusty on all the rules. I'm going to be honest. So I'm a little rusty. I haven't done a video in a while. So let's check out Forest Strider. Let's see. Let's look up Strider and maybe it'll come up. Probably come up under this little subsection inside of here. Strider, to the models of the Strider, or they have the Strider such as Forest Strider or Marsh Strider, and applies to terrain type. So this only applies to the forest. Models of the Strider, so they treat it as open ground, so they will not suffer dangerous terrain. So that's pretty sweet. Not too bad. Okay, so next thing. Let's take a look. And they also have Primal Fury. Not Fury, but Primal Fury. I did have to change computers, yo. My PC crap the bed. Sucks. All right, Brave Shamans. Okay, they are next. These are going to be the sorcerers for them, or the great sorcerers, whatever you want to call them. Level 4, movement 5, weapon skill 5, strength 4, toughness 5. Pretty solid fighting stats and toughness. 3 wounds. Initiative 4, pretty good initiative too. 2 attacks, 8 leadership. Not too bad. So these wizards can have Lord Beast, Lord Shadow, Lord Death, and all of these fun ones. Lord of the Wild. I don't know if I'm mistaken or not, but I think I guess you didn't have to have Lord of the Wild, but maybe you did. I really don't know. And it says a Brahmin with the mark of Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Sinesh must use the lore of Tzeentch, Nurgle, or the lore of Sinesh, respectively. So if you take that mark, you have to take that lore. So I don't know how good or bad those lores are. So maybe we can find out about that here in a little bit. They also have the Strider, Ambush, and Fury. Damn it! All right, so we have a Gore here. This is just a regular Gore. Weapon skill 4, not bad. Strength 3, toughness 4. Okay, so dang, that's what it was. I think when I played my homie, he was doing strength 4, toughness 4, basically like orcs out there, or I guess Tomb Guard, whatever the hell. So yeah, that's a big difference when you got strength 4 versus strength 3. So strength 3, toughness 4. Let's see what they got. They got the ambush. They got the Beastman Ambush, Forest Strider, Primal Fury, and then the Unruly. Look at me. I'm going to forget things, guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm already forgetting what the hell the Unruly was. I know I just read it. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this is for their Berserker Rage. Okay, for their Frenzy. And then it's also, that's just a Frenzy test for me, pretty much, since I'm more in tune with 8th and 7th edition. All right. So, yeah, initiative is 3, so pretty normal. And leadership 7, so nothing too crazy there. Bestigors, these are going to be elite troops right here. I know these are movement 5, strength 4, toughness 4, solid. Initiative 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, and they have devastating charge, so they get +1 attack when they charge. They have the Forest Strider as well. They have Primal Fury. I cannot say that right. They also have Despoiler. So each enemy standard bearer that is removed as a result of a successful pursuit or staying in combat, the Vesper add that +1 to combat res. Pretty solid. If a unit flees for any reason, they will lose this bonus, so you won't get that if you flee. So pretty sweet. We have Ungors, which are just some crappier infantrymen. They are still movement 5, only weapon skill 3, strength 3, toughness 3, so not strength 4 or toughness 4. So yeah, they got the Ambush, Forest Strider, Primal Fury, Unruly. Okay, cheaper guys, I'm sure. Ungor Raiders, they're gonna be like the guys that shoot. Weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, nothing crazy. Really crappy leadership, or kind of crappy leadership, only 6. These are skirmishers, though. They do have Ambush, Forest Strider, Unruly, all that. Now we have mutants. I'm not familiar with this. I guess it's almost like a Chaos Spawn or something. Pretty sick looking. Let's see what we got here. So a mutant is only movement 4, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength 3, toughness 3. Pretty normal, like an Ungor, but I guess a mutant. And then you have a mutant leader with 2 attacks. Blah blah blah. They are expendable, so I'm guessing these guys are kind of like slaves and they explode or something like that. Let's look at expendable because it's been a while since I've seen that. I'm sure it seems like everybody has something similar in that regard as to some kind of like slave kind of ish unit, like escaping slaves, I should say. Models of this special rule do not panic friendly units that are not expendable. So they only panic other expendable units, and characters cannot join. Okay, so and here's another thing: for every core unit with the expendable unit, you're required to take a. So you got to take, if you want to count towards your point, you got to take a non-expendable unit. All right, for more of this, see choosing your army chapter. Okay, all right, fair enough. What else we got here? So we have mutations. Roll a d6 at the start of the game to determine what mutation is the most prominent for the rest of the game. All right, so all right, pretty. So animalistic legs is going to be +1 movement, +1 strength. So this is kind of cool. I like this randomness for. Hopefully they're cheap. We'll take a look at them here in a little bit. We have grossly fat, +1 toughness. I like it. Both kind of cool. Of course, you probably want 2 or 3 from what I'm seeing so far. Natural armor. I'd rather have strength or toughness. Tentacle-like arms gains +1 attack. Not bad. All right. Pincer hand gains armor piercing. Out of all those, I would take the +1 strength, I guess. See, do they have primal? No, they don't have primal fury. So, I don't know. I think I would take either the +1, maybe the +1 toughness, just so you can send them out there to die and kind of be doing their thing. All right. So next we have Chaos Warhounds. Let's take a look at them. So we got movement 7, weapon skill 4, pretty solid. Strength 3, toughness 3, initiative 3, leadership 5. Pretty low leadership, but still not bad for chaff if it's not too expensive. They are a war beast, so they have that strider, swift strider, whatever, force strider as well, and they also have vanguard, so that's kind of nice, good for hunting down war machines and things of that nature. That's a pretty cool pick. Let's see what else we got here. Minotaurs, however you say that. Okay, Minotaurs are scary. So Minotaurs are movement 6, weapon skill 4, strength 5, toughness 4, 3 wounds each, 3 attacks each. And these guys are scary. Leadership 7, they have impact hits. I think in the past they used to have frenzy. Oh, I guess they still do. So Bloodgreeds, Minotaurs and their kin become more and more frenzied the more victims they slaughter and devour. So if a model with Bloodgreed is on the winning side in a round of close combat, it immediately gains frenzy special. If already frenzied, then it is on the winning side. The model gains +1 attack up to a maximum of +3. So I don't think there was a maximum of this before, but I remember fighting some Minotaurs in one battle we did. We did like a 3-way battle when we started our campaign, and they were up to like strength 7 or they're up to like 7 or 8 attacks or something crazy. These bonus attacks are lost if the model loses its frenzy. However, models with the blood greed cannot use their swift stride roll when pursuing an overrunning, so they get slower as they do that. So whatever, they're still going to be scary as shit. All right, we got Dumbles next, which are scary themselves. Dumbles are crazy. They are a monstrous infantry, their character. They also have that blood greed. They also get impact hits. They have the Slaughterer's Call. Wait, oh, and I forgot to mention that the Minotaurs also have impact hits as well. So they only get 1, whereas the Minotaurs get D3 impact hits. Okay, I'm sorry, the hell do you call it? The Doombull gets D3 impact hits. Okay, so let's continue with the Doombull. Did I not get his rules? Okay, it's down here. My bad. It's a pretty sick picture. All right, Slaughterer's Call. Any unit accompanied by a frenzied Doombull or Gorbull is also subject to frenzy. Pretty sweet. So start off with it instead of gaining it in battle. We got a movement 6, weapon skill 6, strength 6, toughness 5, 5 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 8, frenzy. So basically 6 attacks. And they can gain more attacks at strength. It's just scary mofos. Scary, scary, scary. We have Tuskor chariots next, which are movement 6. If I remember correctly, I think chariots can march in this edition, if I'm not mistaken. So strength 5, toughness 5, 4 wounds. That's pretty solid. Leadership 7. Chariot save, only 6+. They do have primal purity as well. They have a best to go on top. Weapon skill. Oh, strength 4, so that's not too bad. I wonder what kind of. I guess you can choose what kind of weapon they get too, right? So not too bad. We also have Razor Gores. Okay, Razor Gores, if I'm not mistaken, they're kind of like a chaff unit. Oh no, they're actually like a little monster beast, so not too bad. They have movement 7, strength 5, toughness 5, 3 attacks, 3 wounds. Only leadership 6 though. Are they frenzied, or if they get D3 impact hits, natural armor 6+, thunderous charge, so +1 strength on the charge. So basically strength 6 on the charge with 3 attacks, but only weapon skill 3, so not crazy good, but they'll get a stomp as well. It is what it is. Then we have the Razor Gore. Oh, and then you get it upgraded to the chariot. It's going to be Razor Gore Chariots, movement 6. So one less movement, strength 5, toughness 5. Um, yeah, they cause fear, natural armor, primal fury, thunderous charge. So strength 6 on that. So not sure how much that is. We got Centaurs next. Centaurs are movement 8. Basically like Centaurs gone wrong. Strength 4, toughness 4, 2 attacks. They have the ambush rule, which is pretty sweet. I mean, those got to be scary as an ambush. And they can be fast cavalry too, so that's pretty scary. And force strider, so pretty cool. Looks like they have a drunken thing where you can roll a d6 and get some cool stuff. For each Centaur unit at the beginning of each return to console the table to see the effects of their rampant alcoholism until it's right. I always love random stuff like this. It's pretty cool. So 1 to 2, the unit is subject to a stupidity rule, so it can be good or bad. 3 to 4 is frenzy. 5 to 6 is stubborn. No, pretty good, But 1 to 2, and 33% chance of it leading to stupidity at leadership 7, which is not too great. I didn't know they had harpies, so they have harpies apparently, like my dark elves, 2 attacks, initiative 5. Basically, looks like around the same. They're expendable. They can fly, so they won't panic other units, and they can fly. So always pretty good for hunting down war machines, things of that nature. Maybe even little bunkers and stuff. We have Chaos Trolls. All right. Pretty cool. That's wicked looking. Looks like a gigantic goblin. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. They got me moving 6, strength 5, toughness 4, 3 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 6. They've got 4 up regen, but they're also stupid at leadership 6. That's kind of rough. I'm not sure how crazy I am about that, but maybe it's just how it is with trolls. Instead of attacking normally, the whole unit can choose to vomit on the enemy. Each model inflicts 1 automatic strength 5 hit, which ignores armor save. That's pretty brutal if you can get it to work. Which is their ballistic skill won't matter. So I wonder what the range is on that. I guess that's in close combat. Yeah, I guess that's what it would be. So that's pretty sick. We have Chaos Spawn next. Chaos Spawn is weapon skill 3, strength 4, toughness 5, and then it has a random attacks, leadership 10. I'm thinking, is it? I think it is unbreakable. So it has a random movement, so basically compulsory kind of stuff. I'm guessing random movement. I want to say that's going to be like old school. Random movement is probably just, what does that mean? Let's look it up instead of bullshitting here. Random movement. Take a look. I'm guessing it's going to be 2d6. Okay, so models do not have a normal movement, but the rather such as d6, 2d6, as indicated in the brackets. So let's see what the as indicated in the brackets is. Oh, 2d6. I'm stupid. Okay, so and does that mean that they can go 2d6 in whatever direction you choose, or is it like a scatter die that you use? If model answer says okay, so they're like a hell pit or something. They pivot it, and that's how far they just roll 2d6. So it's kind of like a hell pit. It's just a compulsory move, like old school. All right, so here are some of the upgrades. It does have random attacks, random movement, so d6 plus 1. And strength 4, whatever, not too bad. And then it's unbreakable. Interesting. That shit looks pretty sick right there. We got Spawn of Nurgle. It has poison attacks. It's okay. Spawn of Slanesh, plus 2 initiative, which would be initiative 4. Spawn of Corn, plus 1 strength. Oh, yes. Spawn of Zinch has a strength 3 breast weapon that has a flaming attack special. That's pretty solid too. But all in all, I think I would take the plus 1 strength to have it at strength 5, toughness 5, unbreakable, d6 plus 1 attacks, leadership 10, unbreakable. It's going to be a pain in the ass, right? So I don't know. Maybe I take the Spawn of Corn, or I would say number 1 would be Spawn of Corn. Then I would take the Spawn of Zinch to have that strength 3 flaming weapon. Be good for taking out chaff or something to I don't know, maybe flank a little bit. Can get a bunch of archers, that kind of deal if possible. These two, I mean, this is probably the worst one. And then this one is probably third. 1, 2, 3, 4. that's my rating. You can let me know if you have something different. Now we have Prayton Man. So Prayton is some kind of monstrous beast. I'm not familiar with this. It can fly. 8. I don't know. I think that's the movement or fly. I forget what that is, to be honest. In fact, let's see what it says when it says fly, and then it has something in brackets. Because I don't, honestly. I think I've seen that in the past, and I just get confused with some of these rules. So it says fly, and then it has a bracket. Let's see. So let's see, movement in Warhammer is presented by a swoop or gliding to the number in the brackets instead of using the normals. I cannot talk. It's super glad equal to the number of brackets instead of its model's normal movement value. Note that any equipment or special rules that affect the model's regular movement also affect fly move. The flyer starts off on the ground, takes off, flies towards her, and then lands. Flyers therefore begin and end their movement on the ground. This is usually because it's impractical to suspend models over the battlefield, so we use the glide for the sake of simplicity. So here's where I'm confused a little bit. I'm going to be honest. So does that mean that it just marches 16, but it can fly? Is that what it means? Because it's moving 8, and then it can march 16. Does that sound about right? It also has impact at D3, so kind of cool. That's what I think. I could be wrong about that. You can let me know if I'm wrong. Anyways, it's weapon skill 4, which is not bad. Movement 6 if it's on the ground. Strength 5, toughness 4, 3 wounds, and initiative 5, not bad. And leadership is pretty low, but 3 attacks. It has impact hit, so consuming hatred as the hatred rule. Any wounds suffered in close combat are included in the player's own combat result score as well as their opponents. What does that mean? Hold on, let me read that again. Anyone that suffered are included in its player's own combat. So you get anyone suffering. So you get combat risk for your own wounds. Am I reading that right? I could be wrong. Endless malice. Should a Praeton be? See, I'm really just saying this for the first time, guys. I may misunderstand some things. Endless malice. So if it's on the winning side of a close combat, then in order to pursue its foes, it must first pass a leadership test. If the test is failed, it will not pursue and instead remain stationary whilst it rends and tears at the fallen. Enemies within 12 inches within must pick a panic test. 12 inches, that's a pretty big bubble. Uh, to in the face of the beast's horrific display. So it may not chase people down, but it might panic other stuff. So that's kind of interesting. All right, so you have some upgrades here. We have Insane Bloodlust, which gives them a Frenzy. So instead of 3 attacks, you have 4. At Strength 5, that's not bad, except that could be a problem with Leadership 6. I'm not sure how great that is. Forest Stalker gains the Ambush. I think I'd rather take that probably. Or maybe this. I'll take this, and then that. So 1, 2, 3. 5+ armor. I guess you could take that and be something. But 5+ is just not too reliable. But it's something. I guess it depends how much it costs. We have a Cockatrice next. It's Monstrous Beast. It does have Fly 8, Natural Armor 4+. Weapon Skill 4, Strength 4, Toughness 4, 4 attacks, Initiative 6. So pretty fast. It's just like I don't know, like a glorified Pegasus. I don't know, maybe better. So it has Heroic Killing Blow. Interesting. And with that high initiative, that could actually snipe out some characters. But this is the Petrifying Gaze. Okay, so the Gaze is a 12-inch range, Strength 4. Heroic Killing Blow ignores armor saving. That's pretty interesting. So you got to be careful if you have a character on foot on their own magical attacks. And also, if it's ethereal, it could take out some vampire count stuff, multiple shots, 2 shots at strength 4, 12-inch range. But it's a skill 5, which is solid. And then it has Heroic Killing Blow. I mean, this is just pretty solid little attack. When rolling to wound with the shooting attack, subject to the target's toughness with its initiative value. Okay. Wait. So if it is a character, they're usually going to have higher initiative, unless you're like humans or orcs or something like that, ogres. So going against elves is going to be a little bit less likely to wound, but yeah, interesting. We got Dragon Ogres next. Dragon Ogres are big and scary. Let's see what we got. We got Monstrous Beasts, Movement 7, Weapon Skill 4, Strength 5, Toughness 5, 3 attacks each, Immunity to lightning attacks. Okay, 5+ armor. So not bad. Leadership 8. We have the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. So the Shaggoth is Movement 7, Weapon Skill 6, Strength 6, Toughness 6, 5 attacks. Has immunity to lightning attacks. Immune to psychology as well. Natural armor 5+. Okay, and this one's a monster, so we'll get Thunder Stomp as well, I believe. Let's take a look at that because I forget how Thunder Stomp works. Stomp and Thunder Stomp work. Let's see. Thunder. I think it's just called Stomp, isn't it now? There's no Thunder Stomp now. I think that's what it was. Yeah. So Stomp. Take a look. Maybe right here it's a little bit more. Model with this command always strikes last. So it inflicts D6 or D3 against lone infantry models. Okay, interesting. Automatic hits on enemy, infantry, war beast, or swarm base contact. All right. And am I missing it? Is there no more just regular stomp with like monstrous beasts? I don't know. But I do see that's stomp. That's just regular stomp. Hold on, let's go back here. Hold on. D6. So yeah, this is Thunder Stomp. Now I'll have to look up later and see what the heck just regular Stomp is, if it's still a thing. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Next we got Gorgons, so which Gorgons are movement 7, weapon skill 4, strength 6, toughness 6, 6 wounds. How many wounds did this sucker have? 6 wounds also. Okay. Leadership 10. All right, so this thing has Blood Greed. Okay, that's pretty solid. Also has Frenzy, so 7 attacks at strength 6. Immunity to Psychology, and also Stubborn. So this is like a giant, but better, maybe. Well, maybe, I don't know. So it has a Swallowed Whole thing. In addition to his normal attack, the Gorgon may make 1 additional special attack at initiative 1, so it'll be like a always strikes last. The attack has Killing Blow, special roll, but to wound rolls of a 4 plus act as a killing blow instead of just wounds. So really, really scary. If it lasts, it can definitely eat something whole. So it's not heroic killing blow, so it won't kill like like a monstrous beast or a monster or anything like that. But still, strength from the flesh. Each time it causes a killing blow with a swallow hole special, it will regain a wound that has lost earlier in battle. So that's kind of solid. Okay. Next, we have the Cygors. The Cygors are movement 7, only weapon skill 2, which is not great. Strength 6, toughness 6, 3 attacks, leadership 8, magic resistance 2, stubborn as well, immunity to psychology. We'll have to see what's good because I don't like this weapon skill 2, and I don't like this initiative, and just has a bunch of wounds. Immunity to psychology, magic resistance 2, stubborn, ghost sight when fighting enemy wizards, models with any sort of magic item or magical text on dead or creatures with the ward save. The Cyber may reroll fail to hit rolls. I mean, whatever. Hurl attack. Cyber may throw a rock. Maybe that's why. Oh, okay, that might be why. Throw a rock in his shooting phase as long as it did not charge or march that turn. This works just like a stone throw with a range of 24 inches and a slow to fire special roll. If a misfired roll, I think slow to fire just means that you can't do stand and shoot. If a misfired roll, the Cyber suffers a wound as it drops it on its own. Let's check out slow to fire again. I probably checked this out in the past, but I'm thinking it just cannot be used to stand and shoot. That's exactly what I thought. Okay. Then we have Soul Eater. So enemy wizards within 24 inches or more of the side must take a leadership at the beginning of the magic phase. If it's failed, the wizard had lost nerve. Any spell he fails to reach the attempted will result in a miscast. So that's kind of scary. So 24 inches, you can actually miscast easier. Jabber Slice are next. So Jabber Slice. Oh, this is the one with the crazy tongue. I showed this on the channel, I believe. This thing's wicked looking. So the Jabber Slice is movement 8. It's fly 5. So I forget. Yeah, 5/5. Okay. Yeah, and at 4 Strider means psychology. Has poison attacks. Natural armor 4 plus. Strength 4. Strength 5. Toughness 5. Weapon skill 4. 5 attack. Leadership 9. And it's a monster, so that means that thing can, if I'm not mistaken, that means it has Thunderstomp. Leadership 9 is solid. So you have Aura Madness. Each enemy unit within 12 inches of one or more Jabber Size at the beginning of the Beastmen magic phase must take a leadership test. For every point by which a unit fails its test, it suffers a wound with ignores armor save. Almost like a Terrorgeist, but not as good, of course. It has no effects on units with immunity to psychology. So the Slithy Tongue, that's what they called me back in college. Just kidding. I didn't go to college. No, in online college. This is a shooting attack with the following profile: 12-inch range, strength 5, poison attacks. Okay. Then we got the spurting bile blood. For every unsaved wound caused by the Jabber Slice in close combat, the attacking unit suffers a randomized strength 5 hit. Okay. Then we have Lashtail, +1 attack, so 6 attacks instead of 5. Then we have the Sinisterly Skulking, gains the Ambusher spell. That could be kind of scary right there. I kind of like that. I would probably take that. As long as it's not too crazy in points, because I think it'll just get shot the hell up if it's not ambush. And I don't. Did it have any kind of save whatsoever? I don't think it does. Oh yeah, it has a 4 plus. Still not too great. Yeah, it could get shot the hell up. Hag trees. Okay. Strength 5, toughness 6, 5 wounds, initiative 2, random attacks, I guess. So it's flammable, so not great. If I remember, flammable means that it's not as bad as it used to be. I think it used to be that basically 1 wound equal 2, whereas now I think it's just +1 to wound whenever you're flammable. Let's see. If a model with flammable is rolled attack by a flaming attack, all fail to wound by the attackers may be rerolled. So okay, not quite as bad. So that's probably better than just +1 to wound when you're flammable, because you get to reroll it. I don't know. You can tell me what you think about that in the comments below. So it also has a natural armor 3+, so pretty solid. It's stubborn, leadership 7, which is kind of low, or kind of normal, I guess, but still not great. And what else we got here? So we got random attacks D6+2. So it's at least going to be getting 2 attacks, which is not great. Only weapon skill 3, which is not great either, but it does have Thunderstomp. Okay, constant wailing. Enemy units within 6 inches suffer -1 to leadership. Has no effect on units with immunity to psychology special rule. We have flailing appendages. So what are these? These are just things it has, period. A hack tree counts as having no flanks or reel for the purpose of combat risk, kind of like a Wargeist or something like that in the vampire counts. We have regenerative snacking, so for every model killed in close combat by the hack tree, roll d6. On a 6, the hack tree gains 1 room previously lost in battle, so it's kind of like the hunger special rule for the vampire counts as well. I think it's crazy looking. Manticores. I'm familiar with Manticores because we have Manticores in my Dark Elf army. Movement 6, weapon skill 5, strength 5, toughness 5. I hate that they have no armor. It's just brutal. 4 attacks, leadership 5, the Manticore, and leadership 5 with frenzy. Like, I don't even know why you would take this unless you had a character there. Fly, I guess you could. Manticore gains it plus, so you have upgrades here. So nothing too crazy good here. It has frenzy, killing blow, I guess, but I just don't see the point of a Manticore. You know what? It does have 4+ armor save, I guess. But like I said, I don't know how great that is. So we have, that's if you do Iron Heart Skin. I would probably take that, or the Hatred, I guess. I wonder if you can take them both if you can. It'd probably be too expensive. And then you have the Armor Piercing. I would take those before that, or any poison attacks. It already has Kill and Blow. I guess if you have poison attacks and Kill and Blow, it could be pretty, but then you can't kill and blow them if you have poison attacks, I guess, right? I don't know. I don't know how that works. We have Chaos Giants. Giants are crazy looking. I mean, look at that thing. Immunity to psychology. You can fall over. You test. A giant must test to see if it falls over if any of the following happened. It's beaten in close combat. It's fleeing at the start of movement phase. It crosses an obstacle. It decides to jump up and down on an enemy. Test immediately beforehand. You roll a scatter dice. Places model hit by a giant. So restrain 6 hit with multiple. Let's see, how much is it? D3? Oh, it's going to be over here. With multiple D3. So yeah, D3. Pretty brutal. Okay, so the giants are crazy. I've read some of these before. Let's see what you result to the chart. So man things, yellow ball, jump up and down, pick up and blah, 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 swing with the club. Let's just read all these things. So this is the big things chart. Let's see. This is for man-sized things. This is for bigger than man. So like monstrous cavalry beasts, that sort of deal. So swing with the club, giant. That's over. Let's see. That's over here for the men-sized things. Giant swings his club across the enemy ranks. The giant uses random attack special rule for this round. So basically 2d6 attacks. So 2d6 attacks at strength 6, toughness 6, leadership 10, and stubborn. Pretty solid there. And then we have yellow ball. The giant yells balls at the enemy. This is not a pleasant experience. Blah, blah, blah. The giant automatically wins combat by 2 points or more. Has no effect against animated constructs. So I do kind of like that. There is a lot of animated constructs in this game. We have Thumper Club. Basically, the target by passing. So if you pass an initiative test, you're not hit by it. You test the spell, the model takes 2d3 wounds, which ignores almost armor save. If a double is rolled, the club is embedded into the ground and cannot attack, and the giant cannot attack at all in the following round of the same combat whilst it recovers its weapons. We got Headbutt. So it headbutts a single enemy model and then inflicts D3 wounds, no armor save. If the victim is wounded but not slain, then it Dane loses all of its following attacks. So that one's not too bad. If a target is not yet attacking the round, it loses those attacks. If it has already attacked, then it loses the next round's attacks. So that one's kind of brutal too. We have jump up and down. Giant jumps up and down vigorously on top of the enemy before it starts. The giant must determine if it falls over. See the previous page. If it falls over, work out where it falls and calculate damage as already described. Any wounds caused by the fall on either side count towards combat res, so it could hurt the giant as well. If the giant remains on its non too nimble feet, it will inflict 2 stomp attacks. So yikes, that's kind of brutal with the stomp attacks. So basically, 2d6 attacks that hit automatically. Giants enjoy jumping up and down there so much that giant does so in one round of combat. It will automatically do so in the following round. Oh yeah, that's brutal. Assuming it didn't fall over. So yeah, that's a bad one for you. You don't want it to jump up and down. And yeah, pick up and blah blah blah. Grab a single character and base contact from the target unit. Giant player's choice. Grabs a model and the player rolls a d6 to see what happens. You stuff them in the bag, throw them into combat. So I'm not going to read these up because they're going to take a while. I've read these in the past. We do have a 5+ armor save upgrade you can get in. You know what? Maybe I just might do it quickly. So this just removes as a casualty. Basically, no armor save or ward save or anything. If a giant should be slain, any enemy. Okay, so the only way to get away is if the giant's slain at the end of the battle and no longer count as casualty. So yeah, you just better hope that you kill that giant. Throw them back into combat. Basically, it's a missile. D3 stings 3 hats. Anything you throw it into. Okay, so D3 string 6 hits, and D6 string 3 hits is normal. So that's kind of, it could probably kill him. Hurled into 3 is the victim is hurled into any enemy unit within 12 inches, randomly determined your direction. The victim is removed as a casualty and takes the unit D6 string 3 hits. Unsable from these hits count towards the combat res. If no enemy units are in range, choose to throw back into combat. And so it's either this one or this one. Squash, this doesn't really bear thinking. It's removed as a casualty. So I'm guessing no ward saves against that. Eat, removed as a casualty. Pick another. The giant stuffs the victim in its bag under shoe or trousers. They're really unlucky. Treat the giant has stuffed into the bag and then choose another victim. Roll again onto the table to see what the giant does with it. Okay, so pretty bad. We have ram horns next. So the ram horn is a monster. It has movement 8, only weapon skill 3, string 6, toughness 6, 6 wounds, 5 initiative, leadership 6. It has bested gore crew. So I guess this is I don't know, do we have anything of what it looks like? It's almost like something, I don't know, maybe like a triceratops, that kind of thing, like from the lizardman. It has frenzy, so basically it has 6 attacks, impact hits d6 plus 2, natural armor 4+, primal fury only on the bested gores. It's stubborn. On stubborn 6, which is pretty low, so maybe you can get a character on there or something. It does have the thunderous charge for the razor gore, so +1 strength on the charge as well. So strength 7, pretty brutal. All right, so now we're moving on to characters. I see we got Gorthor the Cruel. It's a beast lord. Let's see what he's all about. Pretty wicked looking, like all beastmen. Okay, he's got the Forest Strider, primal fury. He has the favorite of the Chaos. Gorthor must be the army general, and any unit he joins may reroll failed psychology and break tests. Not bad. So they don't have to have the BSB there for that. So that's kind of nice. Nice little bubble there. Barguard the Tamer. You know what? I'm not even looking at his stats over here. We've got movement 5, weapon skill 7, strength 5, toughness 5, 3 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 9. So pretty good stuff there. That toughness is no joke. Then we got, let's see, Barguard the Tamer, loyal charioteer, expert at taming and driving the Tuskor. So I guess, is he on a chariot? I guess I'm guessing that is. Oh, if he's mounted on a chariot, he may reroll all fleeing and pursuit roll distance rolls. If Gorthor is on foot, Barguard is not included in the game. Okay, so that's if he's on a chariot. Scion of the Dark Gods. At the start of each friendly magic phase, randomly generate a spell from the Lord Death. Oh, kind of nice. Gorthor may use the spell during the magic phase as a bound spell with a power level equal to half the casting ability of the spell. Rounding up, Gorthor may not Hold on a sec. Oh yeah, have to get. Okay, so it just goes up. Gorthman exchange the result for the first spell from the same lord as a wizard normally could. So you can cast a random spell and it's half the value. I like that, and I like the lord. That's kind of solid too on some things, right? Cool. So next we got the Impaler. This is a magic weapon. It's a spear. Impaler gives Gorthor multiple wounds, D3. All right, pretty sweet stuff there. If Gorthor rolls any doubles or triples of successful rolls to hit, the attack automatically wound. Pretty sweet. I like that. It's pretty sweet. At strength 5, D3 wounds. Not bad at all. Then we have Skull of Mugrar. It's a chariot. If he's on a chariot only, when rolling for the chariot's impact hits, Skull of Mugrar allows an extra dice to be rolled, and the highest result can be chosen. Okay, so pretty much 3d6, and then you take the highest 2. So pretty sweet. In addition, it gives Gorthor the immunity to multiple wounds. Pretty solid all around. I like all these rules so far. Just kind of depends on what kind of ward and armor saves he has. I'm not sure. We'll see here in a little while what he's actually carrying. I'm guessing he just has like heavy armor, which could be a 4-up save. And then the chariot. Oh, you don't get mounted anymore, I don't think. We have the Cloak of the Beast Lord as a talisman. Okay, so he gets a ward save equal to the strength of the attack that hit him. For example, strength 2 hit with 3 up. Okay. All right, so against attacks that do not have a strength value, it provides a 6+ ward save. In addition, his inspiring presence is 18 inch. I like a lot about this character. That's pretty cool. He helps in magic. He's toughness 5, strength 5, has 5 attacks. He has D3 wounds on his stuff. Maybe not the best character in the world, but I will say I like a lot of this stuff, and pretty cool rules on the chariot. He can reroll impact hit, or he can take the highest of 3 dice on impact hits. He can reroll break and pursuit. I mean, pretty sweet, pretty sweet. What else we got here? So I'm wondering if he's got a spear, does that automatically give him +1 strength on the charge? I'm thinking it does, so he'd be on strength 6. I'm guessing. Maybe I'm wrong there. I'm not sure. And he gets a ward save equal to the strength of the hit. So I mean, you get a cannonball, you basically have a 2-up ward save. I mean, how cool is that? Unless I'm missing something. And 18-inch range, so I like everything about it. I like pretty much everything about it. We got Kazrak, the One Eye, next. Let's see, Kazrak. He's movement 5, weapon skill 7, 5, strength 5, toughness 5, 5 attacks, 4 attacks, I'm sorry. Leadership 9. He rides a red maul. I'm not sure what that is, to be honest. Some kind of war beast. Does it show what that thing looks like? I don't think so. I'm not sure. Maybe that'd be cool to see a model. Anyways, but his war beast also strength 4, toughness 4, 2 attacks. Kind of cool. 4 Strider, Primal Fury, Red Maul. Oh, it's a Chaos Warhound. It's included in army. If it's included in the army, he forms a unit with Kazrak, though they may both join other units as normal. If Kazrak is slain, Red Maul is subject to hatred and frenzy for the rest of the remainder of the game. Okay. Whatever. All right, so Bestial Cunning is the first thing I got here. All units using the Ambusher special rule in the same army as Kazakh may choose to reroll the dice to see when they enter play. Always cool. They're already getting +1, so and they get a reroll. So unless you roll double ones, those ambushers aren't coming in. The ambushers are coming in, I should say. Pack Master. All warhounds in an army led by Kazakh have +1 leadership and the ambusher special rule. Pretty sweet. I like that. Because that could really harass some war machines or some, what do you call it? Some bunkers and stuff. They have a wizard. That's kind of scary stuff. We have Scourge as a magic weapon, 2-hand weapon, so it will be an extra attack. He'd have 5 attacks. Each enemy model in base contact with Kazrak gives him an additional attack. This has no effect in the challenge. I believe I've heard of this. So basically, he could have like, I don't know, 10 attacks or 9 attacks, I guess. No, because let's see, he could be in base contact with 3 of them, so an extra 3 attacks. Pretty good against infantry, you know. Then we have the Dark Mail, which is the magical armor. He has a 2+ armor save. In addition, negates the power of any magic or runic weapons carried by models in base contact. Treat them as ordinary non-magical weapons of their type. Pretty sweet when you got a 2-up armor save. So if you have something that negates armor saves, this is really good. Really good for like Empire or maybe some Skaven stuff and maybe even other stuff that doesn't really let you take an armor save. All right, so we got Morgor, the Shadow Gave, Master of Skulls. Morgor is movement 5, weapon skill 6, strength 4, toughness 5, 3 attacks. It's like more like a He does have 3 wounds, so he's a lord kind of guy. Forest Strider, Primal Fury. He has random movement, 2d6, unbreakable. Is this a Chaos Spawn or something like that? I don't know what the heck this thing is. No, he's a wizard. Duh. Okay. But it's kind of weird. He's unbreakable. It's kind of crazy. He's kind of unbreakable, but whatever. So we got some of the special rules. The Hordes of Morgor. Beastmen Army containing Morgor must reroll any successful unruly tests. Okay, cool. Um, this is the next day, by the way. It was a crazy thunderstorm last night, and I got tired. So I already forgot what that unruly was, to be honest. All right, I know I looked it up earlier too, or last night. So we got the Beast Roar, which all friendly Beastmen models within 12 inches of Morgor may reroll failed rally tests. Okay. Um, what does he do with these? These are just his rules, period. I guess they are. Then we have the Aura of Transmutation. More can be harmed anyway by missile attacks or spells. Pretty sweet. Unless the model, which is the source of the attack, is within 12 inches. So they actually have to be close to him. So kind of protects you from wizards or cannons. That's pretty nice. Or even bolt throwers. So, or the freaking catapults, any of that crap, mortars, whatever. Furthermore, at the beginning of each round of close combat, all models in base contact take a string 3 hit. String 3 hit with no armor save allowed. I kind of like this character. Pretty solid so far. The Spirit Essence of Chaos. Spirit Essence of Chaos is at the beginning of your magic phase. All units within 8 inches of Morgor must pass a leadership test or suffer D6 string 4 hit, which ignores armor saves. Man, that's pretty solid. If 1 or more wounds is inflicted, you may place a Chaos spawn within 3 inches of the spot vacated, provided there's space and you have the appropriate model available. When the spawn appears, it must be placed more than 1 inch away from the other model. So pretty cool. This guy can actually summon Chaos spawns if he kills people. So you got to watch out for this guy. This guy's not bad. We'll have to see how much he's worth, but I like what I'm seeing. I mean, he can't be harmed by missiles or magic. I mean, what are you gonna? I mean, I guess he can be hit in close uh, yeah, he can. And then if people do take a string 3 hit, so you can kill him, but he's not easy to kill. I'll say that. Doesn't seem like he's too easy, especially when you can't shoot at the bastard. So yeah, unless you're within 12 inches of him, so you gotta hope to get like a bunch of archers, and then even then he's still toughness 5. So that's gonna have to be like fast cavalry, like some pistoliers or something with gun, string 4 or 5, hopefully. But yeah, pretty solid. He has Skull Weave, which is something that causes terror. Any model attempting to attack Morgor in close combat suffers -1 hit. Solid. The Brace Staff of Morgor and the Stones of the Skull Cave. This is an arcane item. If any wizard, friend or foe, I always don't like these, within 12 inches at least to take them, and Morgor rolls a 6 when rolling on the miscast table, then the unfortunate wizard is instantly turned to his chaos spawn under the control of the Beastmen. Okay, so this is a double-edged sword right here. Really solid stuff on the other end, but this could be pretty bad. Okay, so you gotta, well, I guess, I thought he was a wizard, but he's not a wizard. He's just a freaky deaky chaos spawn character, I guess. Unless I'm missing something. I don't think he's not a sorcerer, I don't think. So okay. So yeah, pretty crazy. He can summon even more chaos spawn if somebody miscasts on a 6. So if any wizard rolls a 6 and rolling, okay, so yeah, just a 6 period. So I mean, pretty situational, but still, something that could happen. Very, very situational, actually. And so, very, very situational. So, I'd say there's way more upside than downside. So, Spawn has as many wounds as the wizard did when he did the miscast. If you do not have a spawn model to replace it, then he simply counts as slain. Okay, so all right. Additionally created unit does not award victory points. In addition, Morgor generates 2 dispel dice that can be added to pieces. So cool. You even add more stuff. So all around solid. I'm liking these 2 characters. I mean, Kazrak's cool, but I'll take the first guy. Morgor. I like Morgor more than Kazrak. Right? Kazrak's all right, but I'll take Thorgor or whatever the hell this guy's name was. I can't remember already. I don't need to go all the way back there. Let me get back. Gorthor. There you go. All right. So, yeah, I do like this dude. Morgor is cool. I'm down with him. Even though he has lower strength. Okay, so we got the only thing I guess you could say the downside is that he's unbreakable too, so that's kind of sweet. And but the random movement, I guess that is kind of a bummer. Even though he has movement 5, he still has random movement, so it's compulsory, and he has to move that much, right? Um, so I guess the one thing I'm not sure about in this edition is random movement. Is it just like the Hell Pit where you just randomly move 2d6? You don't do charges. I'm guessing that's the case. Let's take a quick look at that random movement real quick. Random movement. All right. Models with the random movement do not have normal movement, but rather this is the distance they move, charge, pursue over. Okay, so yeah, exactly that. Just like it's just a compulsory move. So that part's a little bit of a bummer, but at the same time, he can hold some stuff up. And yeah, I think it would be fun to play him. Malagor, the Dark Omen, Crowfather, Spoiler of the Sacred, Harbinger of Disaster. Pretty fun little intro there. Okay, so Malagor's strength, movement 5, weapon skill 5. It's probably hero type. Oh, 3 wounds also. Weapon skills 5, strength 4, toughness 5. I forgot there are also wizards, of course. It has 2 attacks, so pretty fighty little wizard. So Malagor's a level 4 wizard. Uses Beast, Shadow, Death, and Lord of the Wild. He's got the Beastmen ambush, so you can actually ambush him as long as he's not your general, I guess, or maybe that was only if it's another character. I'm not sure. Forest Strider, he flies, so he can march 20. I guess that's it. So that is interesting. A flying tough wizard that's a level 4 and can also ambush. I mean, this guy could do some damage, but of course, it's probably worth quite a bit of points. And you got to be careful. Primal Fury. All right, so something wicked this way. It comes. Enemy units within 6 inches of Malagor may not use their general's inspiring presence. Like that. Pretty low range, but still not bad. It's got an aura, right? You got to look out for it. Unholy power. Malagor has a dread agenda given unto him, blah, 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 blah. For every spell Malagor casts cast that is not dispelled, he gets a +1 on the subsequent casting attempt. I like that a lot too. All right, so if it's dispelled, then you get a +1 on the next one. So you can get their opponent's dice out of the way, then you get a +1. So pretty cool. All friendly units within 6 inches of Malagor may be rolled failed primer for your test. Pretty cool. It's a pretty short bubble, but still. So we got a brass bull. Slaughter assistant is going to be like a doom bull. Okay, his name is Talrox. Movement 6, weapon skill 6, strength 6, toughness 6, 5 wounds, 5 attacks, 8 leadership. So he's got the blood greed. He's got the frenzy. So blood greed was an extra attack for every wound they cause or whatever. Or I think that's what it was. Frenzy impact test D3 +1. Slaughterer's Call. I forgot what Slaughterer's Call was. Maybe it'll show it, or I have to look that up again. Okay, so let's look at the rest of this. You know what? Let's go ahead and pause this and check out the Slaughterer's Call. I honestly forgot already. In fact, let's just do this. Right? Okay, we're on page 106. Let's look for Slaughterer's Call right here. Since I forgot already. We said page 106. Oops. Let's try the previous one. See if we can do that. Any unit accompanied. Oops. Any unit accompanied. Can we get back there? Accompanied by a frenzied Dumbo or Gorbo is subject to frenzy. Okay, so if he joins anything, they also get for any of those kind of units, then they also get frenzy. So cool. All right, so brass body targets is a 1+ armor save. Yikes. A stronger Dumbo with a 1+ armor save. However, if an attack rolls a 6 to hit and then a 6 to wound, then Tarks will be slain outright if he fails his saving throw. Now that is really scary. Yeah. If an attack rolls a 6 to hit and then a 6 to win, then Tarks will be slain outright if he fails to save. So pretty situational, not the worst thing in the world. I'll take that over to have a 1+ armor save, but still kind of scary to take that. That's a weird drawback. Magic weapons. He has 2 hand weapons. Attacks with these would have ignore armor saves and flaming attack special rolls. Yikes. Ignore the armor attack that's strength 6, and then they're paired weapons, 2 weapons. So I guess he has 6 attacks if I'm not mistaken. Yikes. And that weird little roll with the armor. We have Goro's Warhoof, sire of 1,000 young. All right, so Goros is a cavalry, weapon skill 5, strength 5, toughness 4, 4 attacks, 2 wounds. This is going to be a, regular kind of hero, not a lord. Beastmen Ambush, Drunken. Also, he's got some kind of drunken stuff. Forest Strider, Primal Fury. We got Sons of Goros. So he must be deployed with a unit of Centaurs and may not leave it. So they have +1 weapon skill, pretty solid. So girls can always use the Lookout Sir, provided there is at least one Centaur in his unit alive. Pretty sweet. Then we have Father the Beast. All Beastmen units in the army. Should Goros be all Beastmen units in the army receive a +1 bonus to their leadership when taking the Primal Fury. Cool. We got Man Smasher, magic weapon, causes D3 wounds, pretty solid. Was he strength 4? I think he was. Strength 5, toughness 4 is what it was. Okay, and then we have Skull of the Unicorn Lord. It's a talisman. Gives them magic resistance 2. However, all units have hatred special rules. So would also have hatreds against him and his unit. So whatever. We got Moloch Slug Tongue. All right. Let's see what this dude's all about. Level 2 wizard, infantry, strength 3, toughness 4, 2 wounds, 1 attack. He can use the Lord Death. Okay, so he's limited. He has poison attacks, Beastman Ambush, Forest Strider, Poison, Primal Fury, and then he has regen of 4+. So interesting. Might be, I don't know, might be worth it. Maybe, I don't know. Depends on how many points. He has Curse of the Famine Fiend at the start of each of your turns. All enemy units. I don't know what just happened. Oh, let's scroll down a little bit more. All right, so. Oh, whoops! I think I went too far. Sorry about that, guys. Here it is. Okay, so at the start of all your turns, all enemy units within 18 inches must pass D3 toughness tests, or suffer a wound which ignores armor saves for every failed test toughness test. If he's not a lot of points, that's a pretty solid. I got to tell you guys, I like majority of these characters. They're just tough. They have pretty cool rules, and they have pretty cool little auras, which are scary. Good for them. The Beastmen have been shafted in the past. Moonclaw, son of Morsleep. Moonclaw is weapon skill 3, strength 4, toughness 4, 3 attacks. This is some kind of cavalry, special character on the cavalry. Level 1 wizard who uses spells from the Lord Shadow and the Lord Wild. He has a 5+ ward save, magic resistance 2, primal fury, Horse Strider. He has the Wave of Insanity. Every enemy unit within 12 inches must take a stupidity test to start a turn. Interesting. Good for lower leadership armies. Like you play orcs and goblins or something like that. Interesting. Of course, that won't affect undead or anything like that. But Unholy Zenith at the beginning of the game, secretly roll a d3 and record the number in the turn that corresponds to this number. More sleep is full. For the entire duration of that turn, Moonclaw has a +2 bonus to all casting rolls. Furthermore, to represent his ability to call down a shower of warps on meter, he may make a D3 shooting attacks. Result if they were a stone thrower. Okay. For that turn only. Pretty cool little roll. Any results of a misfire cause a single wound on Moonclaw that cannot be saved by any means. So a little risky, but kind of cool. All right. Could kill him though. He'd probably kill himself. Ungroll the Four-Horn, but I still like it. It's still pretty cool. I like this little bubble too. Another cool little bubble. All right. Ungroll the Four-Horn. Weapon skill 4, movement 5, strength 4, ballistic skill 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, initiative 4. All right, so he has Beastman Ambush, Force Strider, Primal Fury, Bruise and Bitter. Ungroll must deploy in a unit of Ungors, may never leave it. They may refill Primal Fury. When in combat against the Empire, Bretonnian Beastmen Army. Hold on. Ungroll in his unit may reroll Primal Fury test when in combat against units from Empire, Bretonnia, and Beastmen. So if they fight other Beastmen, I guess that's kind of silly. However, Ungroll's unit may not use the general's leadership. No other characters may join the unit. So that part, I mean, they just are Ungor, so whatever. But okay, so Stolen Crowns is an item he can take. It's take a leadership for Ungor at the beginning of each of his turns. If he passes the test, he gains +2 weapon skill, +1 strength until the start of the next turn. If he fails, he's treated level 1 wizard instead. Randomly generating a spell from the Lore of Wild each time, so that's kind of funky. So yeah, kind of a funky. This is probably the weakest of all the characters so far. Yeah, definitely nothing too special here, but whatever. If he's cheap, maybe. I mean, he will get strength 5. What is it? Initiative 6. Whatever. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move on to Lore of the Wild. Let's check out the lore attribute. If a spell from the Lore of the Wild is successfully it's cast, all friendly units within the Primal Fury, all friendly units with this Primal Fury special rule within 6 inches may roll an additional dice for their Primal Fury test in the ensuing close combat phase and discard the highest dice. Okay. It's something. Not the best thing in the world, but hey, you know what? That it helps out with Primal Fury, which may change the outcome of the battle, especially if you get like double ones and get Hatred and Frenzy on something. All right, so we have Bestial Surge, 7+. Okay, this is a signature spell. It's an augment spell, targets non-fleeing units within 6 inches. So all units, if cast, all units will immediately make a move straight forward following the random movement. So D6+1. The Wizard can choose non-fleeing friendly units. If cast all units within. Okay, so you can go into a 12-inch bubble and a 14+. So 7+ for a 6-inch bubble for any units within 6 inches. 12 inches would lead to a 14+. So it's just double it. I guess it's a movement spell. All right, if you have hordes, could help out. I don't know. Not the best signature spell, but still pretty cool, I guess. Vile Tide. It's cast on a 5+. It's a magic missile. 24 inches, inflicts 5d6 strength, 1 hits. The wizard can choose to extend it to 48 inches, so it's 8+. Really low casting value and could take out some chaff, so something. Not bad for 5+ and 8+. I've never seen strength 1 like that on or hardly ever see anything like that. We got Devolve next, which is an 8+ to cast. Devolves a hex spell, targets all enemy units within 12 inches. They got to take a leadership test. If the unit suffers a number of wounds equal to the amount the test was failed by, with the ignores armor save special rule. So pretty cool for taking out chaff as well, or maybe knights, something like that, something with higher, armor saves, or lower, I guess it would be. Better armor saves, let's put it that way. So you can extend it and make it a 16+, so double that up. Okay. So 24 inches, yeah. So double up the distance, double up the casting value. We have Brace Scream next, which is cast on an 8+. It's a direct damage spell. So you can make the caster makes a breath weapon attack at strength 4, maybe cast in close combat. Follows no more rules for breath weapons. So you can choose instead to have the spell resolved at strength 5, and the casting value is 13+. So kind of scary there. Basically, be like a dragon there, but with strength 5. Traitorkin, we have 10+ to cast. Let's see what it is. It's a hex spell that targets all enemy cavalry, monstrous cavalry chariots ridden monsters, as well as war beasts, with a mixed unit special rule within 12 inches. All affected models suffer a number of hits equal to the attack characteristics of their mouths using their strength. In the case of mixed units, only the handlers are targeted, and only by models in base contact. Any armor save bonuses from the natural beast and barding have no effect. So that can be kind of scary if you're going against monsters, or shoot, you're going against ogres. Let's see, the Shea Monstrous Infantry, Cavalry, Monstrous Cavalry. Sure. So it doesn't say Monstrous Infantry, so it has a lot of ridden stuff. Anything that you can ride, it's bad for. Even worse, war beasts. So that's pretty bad for that. So kind of situational, but also kind of scary if you go against that. So interesting. Next, we have Mantle of Korok, cast on a 10+. So it's an augment spell, 12-inch range. But can be cast on the character, including the wizard himself. The character, but not any amount, gets +d6 strength and +d6 attacks, both to a maximum of 10 until the start of the caster's next magic phase. Scary. Additionally, if one or more 6s is rolled, the model suffers strength 5 hit with no armor saves and no save of any kind allowed. So kind of not situational, but kind of double-edged, but could be really scary. Put it on a wizard or something like that. It's already got strength and toughness and all that stuff. All right, we have Savage Dominion next. This is their large one. Cast on a 15+. It's an augment spell. Cast on the wizard itself. The wizard may summon one of the following monsters: a Gorgon, a Jabberslice, a Chaos Giant. Immediately place a model representing the beast with the base touching any table edge. This model is affecting part of the Beastmen Army from now on. Every time the beast suffers a wound, the wizard that summoned it must make a toughness test. If this is failed, the wizard takes a wound too. So that's kind of scary. No saves possible of any kind. If the wizard is killed, the beast wanders back into the forest and is immediately removed from play. Counts as being killed for the purpose of victory. So does it count towards victory points as well? And that's kind of bad. Note that the beast cannot be voluntarily dismissed by the wizard or dispelled by the enemy in the following rounds. In addition, only one monster will be summoned by the wizard at any one time. So I can't say I love this spell. Like, I mean, yeah, that's a big, but the fact that I don't understand why they made it to where the wizard will get harmed as well if they don't pass a toughness test. That's kind of silly. It'd be cool if you could just summon it, and I guess if you cast it on the 15 plus, that's pretty scary. But I don't know. I feel like there's something wrong about this spell. I'm not sure what it is, but it doesn't seem right. We'll get the Lore of Tzeentch next. When a spell the Lore of Tzeentch is successfully cast, make a note of how many power dice were 6 as a result of your effects. You add a single power dice to your armor pool for each 6 that was rolled to cast the spell. All right, so next we got Blue Fire of Tzeentch. It's cast on a 6+. This is a signature spell. It's a magic missile with a range of 24 inches, D6 strength, D6 plus 1 hit with the flaming attacks rule. Pretty cheap. Good for taking out chaff. Heck, even good for like single characters and maybe even monsters, depending on the strength. There's armor save alive, I guess, right? But still, could have strength 6 and then up to 7 hits. So you can extend it to 48 inches and only a 9+ to do that. So pretty solid for taking out chaff or yeah, I mean, not bad. Anyways, next we got Pandemonium, cast on a 7+. Pandemonium is a hex spell, 24-inch range, lasts until the start of the next magic phase of the caster. So the target unit must use the lowest leadership value in the unit, including that of mounts, and cannot benefit from inspiring presence or hold your ground abilities. Ooh, that's rough. I like that spell. That's really good. I think that's really good. I mean, because you can cast this on somebody and almost make them, I mean, if they're not steadfast, they're going to have a real hard time holding on, you know what I mean? Or they're going to have to do a done, but yeah, have a hard time holding on, period, because they have to do a ton of wounds or have a ton of models. Man cannot benefit from inspiring presence or holding ground. So this is a fantastic spell. I love this spell. That's great. I mean, basically, they don't get the BSB reroll, and they don't get their general's leadership. Sheesh. You can so you can target all enemy units in 12 inches, 14+. This is a fantastic spell, I think. I really like it. We have the Pink Fire of Tzeentch, cast on an 8+. The Pink Fire of Tzeentch. Going back to this Pandemonium, I mean, you could cast this and then I mean, I don't know what all you have for shooting and stuff like that, but if something makes something panic, you could really panic stuff off the board. Anyways, next one is Pink Fire of Tzeentch, 8+ to cast, direct damage spell, place a teardrop shaped template at the narrow end of touching the wither's base, aimed at the target, roll 2d6, move the template towards forward towards the number of inches indicated. All models suffer d6 plus 1 flaming attacks. Roll once for all strength and use that value for all hits. So you roll a d6. That's the strength plus 1, and then that's how many hits and that value for all hits. Okay. Oh, use that value for all hits. Okay, so that is rough. You can have up to strength 7 on that. Yeah, that really help out with things that have regen or something like that too. We have Bolt to Change next, and Bolt to Change is cast on an 8+. It's a magic missile, 24-inch range, flicks d6 plus 4 hits with the multiple wounds d3, ignore armor saves and flaming attack special rules, and then penetrates ranks in the same manner as shot from a bolt thrower. This is brutal. I mean, this can be brutal. D3 wounds. I mean, this could take out like Minotaurs, could take out possibly some Monstrous infantry. This is a scary thing here. I mean, D6 plus 4, you're going to be at least strength 5. At the very least, strength 5, if not strength 10. so basically, it's like a cannonball or at least a really good bolt thrower, right? It's a bolt thrower or a cannonball, and it ignores armor save and flame attack. So look out, help hits the things with regen. So this one's very fiery, I see. Okay, next we got Glean Magic, cast on an 8+. It's a hex spell, targets a single enemy wizard within 18 inches. The caster and the target both roll a d6, add their wizard level to the score. If the target's total is higher than the caster's, nothing happens. Otherwise, the target suffers a strength 4 hit with the flaming attack special rule, loses 1 wizard level to a miniature, and forgets 1 randomly determined spell. This cannot be a bounce spell. If the caster does not already know the spell, they immediately gain it. And that's kind of cool. And can cast it like any of his other spells. So you can actually gain the spell and cast it in the same turn. Let's say you roll some 6s to for your pyro dice and gain even more. So pretty crazy. I mean, let's say, hold on, let's see. I mean, yeah, pretty cool to see. Let's say you do the boon of magic. Yeah, I guess if you roll sixes, you'll get some extra power dice. You can use that to do this clean magic thing. I think this is a cool spell too. I mean, you're lowering wizard spells, you're lowering wizard levels. You're gaining spells that you may not have otherwise. I mean, what's not to like about that? Cast on an 8, not too bad. We have Treason of Zinch, 14 plus to cast. It's a hex spell, 24-inch range. All models in the unit immediately make one close combat against the unit itself. Roll to hit, to wound, to save the normal. The caster may choose which one of the unit's weapons used for all these attacks. Through though any parry or dodge save does not apply, and neither does any special rule that applies in the first round of combat. So, this spell has no effect on single weapon. So this could be pretty bad. I mean, basically, you guys are going to fight themselves, and not good, not good. And they can't use saves, and so yeah. I mean, you get armor, but there's that. We have Infernal Gateway, cast on a 16 plus. Okay, it's going to be the big spell. Direct damage, 24-inch range, 2d6, strength 2d6 hits with flaming attacks special roll. Roll for the strength first, so shoot, you can have strength 12. Um, if an 11-12 is rolled when determining the spell strength value, the hits are resolved as strength 10, and the unit suffers 3d6 hits rather than 2d6. Ay. So if you roll an 11 or 12, you're looking at 3d6 hits at strength 11 or 12 or strength 10. I mean, that's just like a gigantic like cannonball just went through your ranks. Crazy. Next we got Lore of Nurgle. Okay, see bloated with disease, the lore attribute. When a spell from the Lord of Nurgle successfully casts, roll a d6 after resolving the spell's effects. On a 6, the wizard's wounds are increased by 1 for the remainder of the game. Oh, okay, solid. This is especially good for this army because the wizards are already tough as nails, you know. So, all right, we have Stream of Corruption, signature spell cast on a 7 plus. It's a direct damage spell. The caster makes a breath weapon attack. This may be cast into close combat or in close combat. Following the normal rules for breath weapons, all model hit must pass a toughness test or suffer a wound. No armor save. Brutal. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. A miasma of pestilence, 5 plus to cast, augment spell, 18-inch range to the start of the next caster's next magic phase. All enemy units in base contact with the target unit reduce their weapon skill initiative by 1. Minimum of 1. You can do a more powerful version where it's going to be D3. It's going to be 10 plus to cast. So, yeah. So you roll 1 and it affects all. It does it to all enemies. Oh wait, let me see something real quick. The wizard can choose cast of all enemy units within base. But okay, so just D3. So that's all it does. It just doubles it up on the casting value, and then it goes to D3 instead of just by 1 on those things. Yeah, that's a good spell. I like it. All right, next we got Blades of Putrefaction, 8 plus to cast is an augment spell, 12-inch range. The target unit's close combat attacks gain poison attack special rule until the start of the caster's next magic phase. If they already have it, but if a model targeted by this already has poison attacks, its attack wound the target automatically on a roll to hit on a hit roll. 2-hit roll of 6. So basically, that would be like old school poison. So new school poison is basically, I believe, you get a +1 to wound. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let's double check here, just to double check. So let's see, poison. I want to make sure I'm right. Poison attacks. I'm pretty sure it's +1 to wound. +1 modifier to wound. Yeah. So basically, it goes back to old school poison, where to hit any 6 you roll is automatic wound. All right, so you don't have to roll for a wound. We got Curse of the Leper. Cast on the 10 plus. You can cast on friend or foe, 18 inches. It's an augment spell. Increases the target toughness by D3. Yikes. Maximum 10 until the start of the next magic phase. Caster's next magic phase. It's a hex if it goes on the enemy. That is solid for a 10 plus until the start of the caster's next magic phase. You can make it 36-inch range, and this is 13 plus to cast. So pretty solid. Only 3 more to make it a further one. So next thing we got is Rancid Visitations. Cast on the 10 plus is a magic missile, 18-inch range, D6 strength 5 hits. Then they have to pass a toughness test or suffer a further D6 strength 5 hits. So the target must keep testing its toughness until it's passed. Oh, that's rough. So you do this. Let's say you can do the Curse of the Leper and then follow it up with the rancid visitations, this could be kind of brutal. So your enemy definitely has to dispel this, and maybe you can get this off or whatever. Like you have a bunch of dice, and maybe you can get that off and do pretty bad stuff. We got Fleshy Abundance X. It's cast on 11 plus. It's an augment spell, 18-inch range. Lasts to the next magic phase for the caster. Basically, the target has 5+ regen. You can extend it to 36 inches, 14 plus to cast on that. Last, we have Plague Wind, 15 plus to cast. Remains in play. It's a magical vortex, small round template. Nominate what direction it will move. You determine how many inches by rolling artillery dice, multiply by the wizard's caster's wizard level. If you get a misfire, you center it on the caster and roll a scatter dice, and it moves that many inches equal to the wizard's level in the direction shown by the scatter dice. If you roll a hit, it remains where it is. Any model touched by the template must pass a toughness test or suffer a single automatic wound, which ignores all armor. So you can do a bigger version of it, large template, and yeah, it's going to be a 25 plus to cast. So pretty standard stuff there. So 15 to 25. I mean, it's decent. It's cool that it's a toughness test, I guess, and it ignores armor saves because sometimes it's just like a strength 4 on some things. Next, we got Lore Slanesh. Blitz in Torment is a lore attribute. When a spell from the Lore Slanesh, I'll let you know which one I like the best. So far, I'm going to be honest. I like what I see from this one, but I want to say that the lore of Zinch just seems like everything is money. You know what I mean? Everything is pretty darn good. Like you could roll on here and every spell. I mean, I guess they don't have the 24-inch range, 24-inch range. I mean, I just like a lot of these spells. Anyways, Lord Norgos is okay. It's pretty good. I like this. I really like the Curse of the Leper and the Miasma combo. I think that's pretty solid. And the Lord of the Wild, I mean, it's all right. It's all right, but I guess it's good for those guys, but it's just not. It doesn't wow me like these other ones, so far. Anyways, so let's keep going. Let's go down to Lord Slanesh. So, did I finish talking about this one? I don't think I did. Okay, so when a spell from Lord Slanesh is successfully cast, d6 plus 1d6 for each. Let's start that over. Roll a d6 plus 1d6 for each unsaved wound caused by the spell, if any. For each result of a 6, the wizard's weapon skill, initiative, and attacks are increased by 1 until the start of the next magic phase. So this is very a magic heavy army, I guess, or yeah, pretty a close combat heavy, I guess it would be a better way to describe that. So it's gonna make a difference in some battles, right? Especially with Beastmen, you already have them kind of fighty wizard, so you could add some strength. You could add some weapon skill. I mean, it could get kind of cool. All right, next we have Lash of Slanesh, it's going to be a signature spell, cast on a 6+, direct damage spell, 24-inch range, extend a straight line 24 inches from the caster's forward arc, directly from his base. Any model whose base falls under the line determines the bounce of cannonball, suffers a strength 4 hit with the armor-piercing special roll. Any that suffers a casualty from this spell may not march in next movement phase. Oh, I like that. I do like that. That's kind of cool. That could be especially good for, like, let's say fast cavalry, which fast cavalry is pretty awesome. And let's say, I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to like hurt like Empire Knights, which have a 1+ armor save or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's good for chaff and stuff like that, or things that you want to redirect and stuff like that. I think that would be a good for that. Not the best spell in the world, but it's all right for 6+. Next, we have Acquiescence, 7+ to cast. It's a hex spell, 24-inch range. The target unit is subject to always strikes last, and random movement d6 special rolls until the start of the caster's next magic phase. So pretty cool. So it means that they can only go d6 inches, so that really slows them down, and in movement and also in combat. So pretty interesting and very low casting value. Also 10+ to make this 48-inch range. Next, we have Pavana Slanesh, 8+ to cast. That one is a direct damage spell, 12. Range is 12 inches. You can target a single enemy model, even a character in a unit. If successfully cast, the target must pass a leadership test on 3d6. If failed, the target suffers 1 wound, no armor saves for every point they failed the test by. So pretty brutal. Of course, that is very short range, but it would be pretty OP if it was like 36 inches or some crap like that. Or if there was even a bigger version of it, that would be pretty brutal. It'd be a little pretty OP, but still not too bad. Would be even better with like 18. That would really, really screw with your opponents. But yeah. I mean, you would almost, unless they have a badass war save, it'd be pretty easy to kill them on 3D. Or, I won't say easy, but very likely. Next, we have Hysterical Frenzy, 8+ to cast. So remains in play spell. You can cast on a friend or foe, 24 inch. It's an augment for your guys, hex for them. So if cast on, you get Hysterical Frenzy. No, if cast on a friendly unit, it's an augment. Hex on your enemy for the duration until the target gains Frenzy special rule, which is not lost if the unit is defeated in close combat. Interesting. So they keep it. If the target unit already has Frenzy, it gets +2 attacks instead of 1. In addition, for the duration of the spell, the target of the Hysterical Frenzy suffers D6 string 3 hits at the end of the caster's next magic phase. So it does do you damage. It's kind of like the Skaven one, Death Frenzy or whatever. But you can do it on your enemies too. That's I guess, if I'm not mistaken, you can do it on your enemies and make them charge. Let's say they have really low leadership. Maybe you put your guys in a position to where they have to get like a long ass, they have to roll really well in order to get a long ass charge. And even if they do charge, maybe it's a good thing for you. And if they fail, it's even better because then maybe they get in the way of their own guys. So I can see that being a pretty good 8+ to cast, not bad. And then, I mean, it could also help you too, of course, right? But I think it would probably be more useful because you don't want to hurt your own guys. But it's only D6 and 3 hits, and if you have high toughness things, which Beastmen are tough, probably wouldn't do a ton of damage. But it is every turn that will happen. So, yeah. Anyways, next we got Slicing Charge, 10+ to cast. It's a magic missile, 24 inches, D6 string 4 hits, armor piercing roll. Target must immediately pass a leadership test or suffer another D6 string 4 hits, armor piercing roll. Keep passing it in this manner until the test is passed. So, but yeah, it's like that other one. Let's see which one. There was another one. Was it in the other lore? I think it was. I think it was over here where it was like you had to roll. It was D6 strength 5. Or whatever the heck. Was it this one? I forgot which one it was. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a decent little thing. 10+ to cast. I mean, it could be pretty good for taking out chaff or maybe some things that don't have the highest armor save. Pretty good, and it could keep on going. Not bad. We have Phantasmagoria, 10+ to cast. Is a hex spell, 24-inch range. To the start of the caster's next magic phase, target unit must roll D6 whenever it takes a leadership test. An additional D6, that is, discarding the lowest result. The caster can choose to have this spell target all enemy units within 12 inches. If they do so, the casting value is 20+. Pretty high casting on that one, but could come into play, I guess. Yeah, not too bad. Pretty high casting though. I think it's a little too high. I wish it was more like an 8 and like a 16. That 20+ to cast for all units, that seems really high for something like that, for that kind of hex. Next, I got Cacophonic Choir. Cacophonic Choir is a hex spell, 12-inch range. Target unit takes 3d6 hits at that 1 and a 4+ with the ignore armor saves rule. Pretty nice. 12-inch range, pretty short. If at least one unsaved wound is caused, the target is subject to always strike the last in random movement D6 special rules until the start of the caster's next magic phase. You can extend it to 24 inches, 18+ to cast. So, all right. So I will say, out of the 3 chaos lords or whatever you want to call these, that's my least favorite one. That's my least favorite one of all. Well. I do like. Let's see. I kind of like Acquiescence. It's okay. I do like this one. It's really short. I'm not crazy about Hysterical Frenzy. It's okay. I'm not even crazy about this one. I will say this is not my favorite lore. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think below. I just don't think it's the best one. I would take Nurgle, or I would definitely take Tzeentch. My favorite one so far. Tzeentch, the Wild, Call of the Wild, or whatever the heck. Not Call of the Wild, the Lord of the Wild. I'd say maybe so far 1, 2, Wild would be 3, although I guess Wild can help out since it's the Beastmen one. Yeah, probably because it helps out with that Primal Fury test, so maybe this one 2, and then Nurgle 3. But definitely love Tzeentch. I do like that one so far, and yeah, just this Slanesh one, just not too crazy about it. We got the Gifts of Chaos next. Okay, we got, oops, I think I went too far. We got the Gifts of Chaos. Okay, Crown of Horns. General only. Bear the Crown Horn gains 5+ ward save. In addition, any unit he joins has a +1 on rally attempts they make. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's better than just the regular magic item. Can I see the regular magic items here or not? Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Magic items. Weapons. They have the basic ones. Oh yeah, it does. I can just see myself taking something, for instance, in this case. I mean, I guess you do get an extra thing, which is going to be that you get a 5+ ward, but then you also get +1 to rally attempts. But I don't know. It's pretty weak sauce, to be honest. For 35 points, I think you can get a 5 award for that. I mean, it's just kind of weak sauce from what I think. 15 points, get +1 attack. I mean, you could just get could you just add an additional, I guess you couldn't be able to take a shield if you did that. So I guess, yeah, whatever. Then we have natural armor, 5+ for 15 points. Slug skin. All enemies in base contact the model. So at the start of a close combat, suffer strength to hit with the poison attack special rule. I mean, I can't see myself taking any of those. We have gouge tusk. I'd probably rather take that than any of that other stuff. Model gains armor piercing 1. Rune of True Beast 10 to cast. What the heck? 10 points. War beast swarms as well as any mounts are not allowed to target the model bearing the rune of the True Beast in close combat, although any riders may attack as normal. So I just don't. Man, these are weak sauce, dude. Uncanny Senses gain one initiative for 5 points. Shadow Hide, models on foot only. Enemies targeting the character with missile attack suffer -1 to hit modifier. I guess that's probably better than any of these. I just am not wowed by any of that. Pretty weak sauce. So Gifts of the Chaos or Garbo. Just nothing really good there, in my opinion. Okay. Spoils of the Herd Storms, we got the Axes of Korgor, 60-point item. 2-hand weapons, the bearer may reroll all failed rolls to hit. And now we're talking in close combat. In addition, gets the armor piercing. Now that's a pretty decent stuff right there. We got the Black Maul. It's a 50-point item. +2 the bearer's strength and gives him frenzy. So in addition, the wearer ignores any rules that would otherwise destroy the weapon. Okay, so that's kind of nice because there are some models that you'll see that, I guess it's good for things that would destroy the weapon, but not for things that would like negate its power. Because there are some, just like in this army, there are some things that can negate. Some of the characters I read off earlier that can negate and make your shit mundane. You know what I mean? So, but still not bad. +2 strength, frenzy, so +1 attack. But that could also be kind of a double-edged sword. Not sure which one I'll take yet. I would recommend so far. We got the Stone Crusher Mace, 35-point item, great weapon. 2+ armor saves are the mace wounds on the 2+ armor saves are taken using the wielder's normal strength. Sorry, my brain just went what? Mace, so wounds on the 2+ armor saves are taken using the wielder's normal strength. So, okay, why is that? Normal strength against building share. The wielder has the multiple wounds D6 special rule. So good against war machines and chariots, but I can't wrap my head around this. Armor saves are taken using the wielder's normal strength. How does that help you? That is a weird rule. It's like you have a great weapon, but it doesn't give you the extra strength. It's supposed to be +1, right? When you have a great weapon. Here, let's double check. A great weapon gives you +2 on the charge and +1 every round after that, I believe. So -2 initiative, right? Requires 2 hands. Strength bonus +1. Okay, so +1 strength, -2 initiative requires 2 hands. So great weapons give +2 strength. Oh, you get +2 strength in the first round of combat, +1 strength after that. So okay, so I was right. +2 strength in the first round, but it is -2 initiative and +1 every round after that. Okay. Yeah, just weird. I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. So far, I'm noticing that the magic items are kind of But the characters, the units, I really like a lot of what I see in the Beastmen as far as that goes. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you'd rather have better actual troop choices than just magic items. Because I mean, so far I like the characters, I like the troops, pretty cool. We have Great Fan next, magic weapon, +1 to wound, and enemies must reroll successful armor. I'd rather take this than that. like because then you can attack first too. So I don't know, even though it's only +1 strength. Next we got the first Fur of Shargoot, 40 points, 4+ to armor save against missile attacks, and a ward save 5+. That's a little bit better. For 40 points. Then we have the Ramhorn Helm, 15 points, 6+ armor save. For every armor save the wearer passes, the bearer immediately must make a bonus attack. The bearer may immediately make a bonus attack at his basic strength. I mean, 6+ armor save. Come on, yo. I guess if you combine it with other stuff, it wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, like if you can take like full plate armor, I don't even know if that's a chase or medium armor. I mean, I guess you get a 3+ armor save. That wouldn't be as bad. So whatever. We have the Chalice of Dark Rain for 35 points, an arcane item. One use only. I'm not crazy about one use only stuff. Like, it has to be really good for me to like it. At the beginning of the enemy shooting phase, the bear can summon a storm of mud and worms with which to blind his enemies. For the rest of the phase, all enemy missile units are -1 to hit. Weapons or attacks that do not use a ballistic skill may only fire on a 4+. So it's okay. It's still kind of left to chance, but I just don't see myself taking it. We got Shard of the Hearthstone. I heard good things about this. See what it does. I forget. After the deployment zones have been agreed, but before the army to deploy, place an appropriate terrain piece to represent the Hearthstone in their deployment zone, no more than 3 inches in diameter. At the start of your magic phase, each friendly Brave Shaman or Great Brave Shaman within 6 inches of the Hearthstone generates an additional power dice. Solid. We have the Dark Heart, 30 points. Character and any unit led by him adds +D3 to their charge move. Roll after declaring charges. If the charges failed, the models move their normal failed charge distance. So, add D3 to the charge move. Okay, so I guess you could fail initially, and then the +D3 can help. So it is what it is. All right, next we have the Beast Banner, 60 points, Magic Standard. The bearer and any unit he has joined have +1 to their strength. That is solid. That is solid. Okay, next we got. We're going into the cost of these guys. All right, let's keep it going. Okay, we got Gorthor, the Beast Lord, 300 points. If I remember correctly, so I did like Gorthor. I did like Morgor. Morgor's probably my favorite one so far from what I remember. Khazak's okay, but not my favorite. I don't know. Maybe he's worth taking on a chariot. I don't remember. You can't add anything else to him, I don't think. Yeah, not bad. Morgor, 335. Rightfully so. Malagor, the Dark Omen. This is the guy that can fly. The wizard that can fly. Pretty cool. Then we got the crazy Dumbo, 310 points. This guy's crazy right here. D3 +1 impact hit, Slaughter's Call. I mean, I think he had an extra attack as well, aside from the frenzy. Just crazy. We got a Beast Lord being 145 points. Yeah, I mean, you can put him on Razorgore, on a Ramhorn, Tuskor, give him the marks. Now, the marks, I don't remember what they do. Maybe I missed something here. Marks. Mark, I see we're on page 122. Did I miss the marks? Maybe I did. Yeah, it's literally missed the mark. I don't remember what the marks do, so maybe will it show here? I don't know. I guess yeah, I don't know. So yeah, you can give them all marks or whatever. I don't honestly remember what the marks do, or so I'm not too sure how that works. Okay, so let's go down here. Sorry for the mix up here. Yeah. Okay, so I got the Beast Lord here. You can put the marks on there. I'll see if I can look up the marks of these guys and see what the heck they do. I don't remember what each one did, to be honest. Let's see what we got. Great British Shaman, 200 points, string 4, toughness 5 to attack. I mean, you can upgrade him to level 4. It's a level 3 starting off. Put him on a chariot. You can give him 3 different marks. I guess you can't give him what is it, corn? Can't give them more corn. Okay, Doombolt, 235 points. Okay, you can kit him out nice and good. You can use all the marks. Goros Warhoof, 155 points. Okay. We got Moloch Slugtongue, 190. 190. Moonclaw. I think this one was okay if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's all right. 200 points. Ungroll Fourhorn. I would probably never use this guy. 70 points. I mean, strength 4, toughness 4 to the. I mean, yeah. We got heroes, 85 points. BSB plus 2 points or plus 25 points. Sorry. British Harmon, 75 points. British. All right, I guess. Not bad for strength. Yeah, well, it is what it is. We got the Gorble. Yeah. 160 points. We got the Gores, 8 points per model. I mean, they are what they are. They do come with hand whip and a shield, so there's that. Let's see what kind of armor can you give? You can make them skirmishers for free, so that's kind of nice. So I would make them skirmishers, just to harass some stuff. You can give them another hand weapon for free. So you can give them another hand weapon for free, and maybe you can get one that's a little bit more fighty, and another one that's a little more shooty. Next we got Ungors, 4 points of your throwaway units. Yeah, 4 points per model, whatever. Ungor Raiders, 6 points. Is what it is. Mutants I did like. That's what it was. I did like that one wizard. I don't remember which. I think that was a Morgor, right? The one that can bring on Chaos Spawn. That's probably my favorite one so far. So yeah, pretty cool. The mutants, pretty cheap as well. We got Tuskor Chariot, 80 points. Not bad for string 5, toughness 5, 4 wounds. Armor kind of sucks, but whatever. There is a Bestigor on top, so string 4. Then the Bestigor does have a great weapon, so there's that, but pretty weak armor save on that. You're just using that to harass stuff, get some impact hits and stuff. Chaos Warhound's pretty cheap, 6 points per model. That's with weapon skill 4, and then movement 7, Vanguard, Teeth and Claws. You can get poison attacks, so there's that. I don't know how great that is, but it's something. We got special units, Bestigors, 11 points per model. You can give them great weapons for 1 point. Pretty cheap. Halberds for 1 point if you want them to not strike last. And then you can give them the marks and stuff. Can you give them shields? It looks like you can't give them shield. They come with light armor. So light armor, if I'm not mistaken, is just is that a 5+? Or I think it's a 5+. Let's check it out. I know, yeah, medium armor is 4. Nope, it's just +1, so 6+. So pretty not so good. So okay, the entire unit may upgrade to medium armor, 1 per model. So you get them a 4+. So they'll have a shield, they'll have light armor, or say you add plus 1 point. Medium armor gives them a 5+. Let's see what that is. Honestly, forget so much of this crap. Medium. Yeah, 5+ armor save, right? So they could have like a 4+ armor save if you do that. But if you give them great weapons, you can have a 5+ armor save, basically like old school heavy armor. And then they'll be strength, toughness 4, strength 6 with the great weapons. Of course, you'll probably strike last anyways when you charge. All right. Yeah. Okay. We got Minotaurs next, 36 points per model, strength 5, toughness 4, 3 attacks. They got that blood greed. Can they take a? So they can't take a standard, but you can give them great weapons. Jeez. Yeah, it is what it is. And if you take Taurox, a Dumbo, or a Gorbo, then one unit of Minosaurs can be taken as core. Pretty solid. We got some Centaurs, 18 points per model, strength 4, toughness 4. These guys are pretty cool. And then Razor Gores, 45 points. Not bad for strength 5, toughness 5 model. I mean, pretty solid little beast. with impact hits and +1 strength on the charge. Razor Gore Chariots, 110 points, strength 5, toughness 5, and then +1 strength on the charge. Cause fear as well. Then we got Harpies, 11 points per model, nice little harassing units. We got these Chaos Trolls, 40 points per model, strength 5, toughness 3, toughness 4, 3 wounds each, 3 attacks. They got Regen, they got that Vomit, which can negate armor saves, natural armor 6 plus. The Chaos Spawn, 40 points. These things are kind of like annoying. Unbreakable. We got Prayton, 70 points, whatever, and this one, whatever. String 5, toughness 4. And this one was okay, I think, if I remember correctly. We got the Cockatrice being 85 points. This is string 4, toughness 4, just a little, just a little monster. Petrifying Gaze, I don't remember what that one did. Then we got the rare units, Dragon Ogres, 55 points per model. String 4, weapon skill 4, string 5, toughness 5, 3 attacks each. Monstrous Beast, you got immunity to lightning. Halberds, you can give them great weapons. Halberds, they'll be at strength 6. And they only have light armor. Oh, I guess they have light armor. They have natural armor plus light armor, so they get basically a 4+ armor save. So there's that. You could just give them additional hand weapons. They'll have 4 attacks each. Kind of scary, guys. We have the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, 225 points, strength 6, toughness 6, 6 wounds, 5 attacks. You can give them additional hand weapons, 6 attacks. Just something to think about. That Gorgon, stubborn. This one's a big dude. 225 points, not too bad. We get the that's the Gorgon. Sigar's 180, strength 6 to 6. Not bad. Magic resistance, whatever. We got the Manicore, which 150 points. I'm not the craziest about the Manigore. Being as I start off with my Dark Elves, and I just didn't think it was that great. Jabberslythe's 175 points. Tis what it is. It does fly, so there's that. Chaos Giant, 175 points. Giants are cool. This hack tree was interesting too. Kind of crazy. And then the Ramhorn, 225 points. I don't remember if I like this one or not, to be honest. You have to look back when I looked at it earlier. So, all right, I did the best I could. Overall, I will say that the Beastmen, I do like a lot of the units. It's got some variety. I do like the variety in Magic. Lord Zinch being my favorite. I guess if you have to take a little while, go for it. Maybe you want to take it just for like the lore attribute. But man, I'm taking Zinch. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I think they're pretty cool. I like them. Not my favorite army, but just because I'm not aesthetically, they're not my favorite. But I will say that they're kind of cool. Not too bad. I think my favorite thing out of everything in this army is that Morgor guy. Let's go read his rules one more time, just because I thought he was pretty cool. All right. I think if I remember correctly, I liked everything about Morgor. In fact, let's put his name more. My computer's a little slow. It's kind of silly. What the heck is it doing? And I'm not typing right. Morgor. Okay, Morgor. Here we go. Here's good old Morgor. Let's go down here and check him out again one more time, just because I do what I want. All right. He had that random movement, unbreakable. Beastmen containing Morgor. We roll all successful unruly tests. I wonder how this works with the random movement. Oh, so Beastmen are containing Morgor. Okay, so for a second I thought he could go in units. I'm silly. 12 inches away from it, can reroll rally tests. If Morgor is within 12 inches of force, all enemy units, even partially within the force, suffers -1 to leadership. You can't be harmed by missile attacks or magic. I just thought he was so cool. At the beginning of the magic phase, he must pass the leadership test or suffer D6 strings for a hit, which ignores armor save. That's cool. Whenever if one or more wounds are inflicted, you place a chaos spawn within 3 inches. I think that's just a cool rule. And then let's see what else we got here. Just going back over it. Causes terror, -1 in close combat. That's solid. Any wizard, friend or foe, Marco rolls a 6, and the miscast when rolling on the miscast, this was the only thing that was kind of like a drawback, aside from maybe not having the best armor save or whatever. But if you're smart, you're not gonna worry too much about getting him into combat. I guess you're gonna want to try to send off the thing where you can they're taking toughness tests, get some chaos spawn out there. Just a fun guy. Oh God, fun guy. Anyways, that's my look at the Beastmen Armies Warhammer Armies project book. I think it's pretty cool. It was a lot of fun to read, and I hope you enjoyed the review. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great day.